WRSR, Owasso, Flint. The following program has been pre-recorded and is paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc. Welcome to Discover Flint Township, a program showcasing our local community. Flint Township is ready for your next move. And now, your host, Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, Tracy Tucker.
Well, welcome this morning. I'm Tracy Tucker, and this is Discover Flint Township. Brought to you by Flint Township Economic Development Authorities, HAP, Financial Plus Credit Union, and Shea Automotive Group, and also 103.9 The Fox. We're wide awake, and we hope you are too. This morning, we're speaking with McKenzie and Stacy from Shea Automotive Group, and our guaranteed rate business spotlight will shine on MaxWell Therapy. And you have a surprise guest today. So, hi, Stacy and McKenzie. How are you today?
Tracy. Good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't believe it's June already.
I know. Can you believe it? This year flew by.
I'm telling you.
Ready for summer, though. Bring on the hot weather.
Yes.
I am. I'm telling you. I am more than ready for it. But you guys have a guest, so I'm going to let you introduce him, McKenzie, and I'll let you guys take it from there.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. Today we have our friend from Sloan Auto Fair, Thom Self.
Hi.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hi. Thank you, McKenzie.
Hi. We're so happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. So we're here right now. The reason I'm here is to talk about the Sloan Museum Auto Fair, and I appreciate the opportunity to do so.
Of course.
And I do appreciate the Shea Automotive Group sponsoring us, being our presenting sponsor this year and last year also. So it's almost June 19th and 20th, which is the dates of the Auto Fair at the Crossroads Village. But also we have a warm-up event that takes place right here at the Shea Automotive Group on your property on Friday, the 18th of June. It's a free cruise for the public to come out, see the cars, see our classic cars, see the old cars, and, of course, we want them to look at new cars while they're here.
Oh, my gosh, of course
And
we
trucks.
do.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tom. We had so much fun last summer with having the fair here. I mean, we did all types of fun things, but most importantly, just watching people sit out by their cars and enjoy themselves. We passed out some gifts and things along those lines, but most importantly, it was just sitting and visiting and having everyone take a little pride in their ownership when they could be outside and show off their vehicles. It was great.
It was great. It's a cultural thing. The automobile, the love of the automobile is very unique to the American culture. No place else in the world do you see people that treasure and take pride in the old automobiles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about it. I know that the Sloan Museum has been around since 1967. And how many years have you been present with the Sloan Museum Auto Fair?
Well, the Sloan Auto Fair itself has been taking place since 1973. That was the first one. So this year will be our 49th annual presentation of the fair.
Wow.
Myself, I've been involved for 9 years, 8 years as the general chairman. But yeah, 49 years. It's an institution here in Genesee County in the Flint area.
Yeah, it is. It's a very long time. Now, can you tell our listeners what the purpose of the auto fair is and what you do with the money that's raised?
Well, the purpose is the same as it was when we first started, and that is to raise money to maintain the collection, which is a very unique collection at the Sloan Museum, to acquire cars for this collection, to promote them, to create educational displays at the museum with the automobiles.
Now, I got to tour the new Sloan Museum that you guys are building. It looks amazing.
It's pretty fantastic. I got to see it myself just this past week. And
Did you? I cannot wait to see it when it's finished. All of the features they're going to have, the big world that they talked about. I cannot wait until it's open.
Yeah, and a lot of people aren't aware, but the museum has changed its name. It's now officially the Sloan Museum of Discovery. Because it is becoming, it's still a historical museum for Genesee County.
Sure.
The automobiles are a big part of it. A lot of the artifacts are Genesee County artifacts, but it's evolving into more of an educational museum so that we can get young people interested,
Right.
Get schools to bring their students out. A lot of hands-on displays will be taking place at the new museum. and in addition to the traditional museum fair.
Okay, so they'll get to see the history and then a little bit of what's to come.
Absolutely.
The future of the
that's
automobile.
important.
Yeah, it is important. I mean, all the different innovation and all the different vehicles today is amazing.
Yeah.
But, there's something about that old classic car, the tune radio and, all how they're just tanks, how heavy they were built and everything that goes into it. So that's pretty exciting.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned a tank. We do have a tank.
Yeah, I heard that.
We have the Buick Hellcat tank. It's going to be on display.
Awesome.
And in the new museum, it has its own permanent location where actually from Longway Street, you can see or Robert T. Longway Street, you can see the tank in the building.
There's a big
in the
garage
windows.
door, right, that it can go out of? Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's really going to be cool.
Even on my short little walk that I had, I learned a lot about that, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, McKenzie came back to the dealership pretty fired up that day. We have to do this. We have to be a part of that. I wanted to. So it was pretty exciting. But we let her do what she wants to do. Providing she stays on the commercials, we let her do
There you
whatever
go.
she wants. Right? No.
I wish.
I always have to make a little joke.
Can I
about
get this
that.
recording later?
Next, don't mention a raise, Tom. We're short of inventory right now.
Yeah,
Right?
I understand.
Right. Well, like I know that. So we have kind of a preamble here, right? You said that's June 19th.
Yes.
June 19th. And then the first official Sloan Auto Fair is going to be held where?
It's at the Crossroads Village at
Okay.
Huckleberry Railroad.
Okay.
So that's up just north of Genesee.
I know right where you're talking.
And the gates will open for the public at 9 a.m. People that are bringing their cars, if they're pre-registered or they want to register the day of the show, which we encourage both, can start coming in at 7 a.m.
Okay.
And it'll run until 5 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, perfect. Now, the event that we're having here is just an evening event, the way that I understand it.
The event here on the 18th, that Friday, is
18th.
from 5 until whenever people feel like going home.
Right. I think last year they were here pretty much till 8:30,
Yeah, they
right?
were.
8:30.
It starts getting dark. And
Yeah, and then they start pulling away. But it was fun and exciting, so
it's a lot
that's
of fun.
great. Okay,
And there'll be food here and
Ice cream.
ice cream and hot dogs and
Music.
music. So it's a nice event. It's a good way to start the weekend.
Great. Well, we enjoyed it. And then they can pre-register on the website for that event,
Yes.
or do they? Okay.
Yeah, for the Friday night, there's no pre-registration.
Okay.
It's just come on out.
Okay,
There's
great.
room for a couple hundred cars out there. And,
Sure.
And come out and enjoy yourselves.
We'll move the vehicles we do have, and we set it up in one little spot, and they seem to enjoy it. And there's no charge for that. The way that I understand it, it's
charge.
free. We let them come on in, and then we supply a few things. McKenzie usually gets on the radio and passes out a few things, or we have some contests or something along those lines.
Free Corvette for the chairman of the
No,
show.
we can't even get a Corvette ourselves,
I
but
know.
that'd be nice, right? Right? We do have one in the showroom. So, like I said, come on by and take a look at it. At least sit in it, feel it,
I will do that.
smell it, that type of thing. It's great. Okay, so no cost when it's here, and then they can pre-register for the actual event that's going to be at Crossroads.
Yes.
And Mackenzie?
Yeah. So the event at Crossroads, I know COVID is obviously still a thing. How are Crossroads Village, how are they going to handle that?
Well, like every venue of their type in the state of Michigan, they do have a written plan. The Sloan Museum also has a written plan. So we'll be following the guidelines. The guidelines have been in flux. They're changing.
Yes.
Right now, realize we have 43 acres of outdoor space. So with that much space and the guidelines, which allow 20 people per 1,000 square feet of space, we have enough room for 15,000 people out there before we have to start counting people. Well, that's plenty. There will be no issues with people not getting in that want to come in. Any cars that want to come, any guests that want to come, there's no question that there's plenty of room. Being it's outdoors, once you're there, you're not going to be required to wear a mask. But there are buildings. There's a theater where there's a magic show. There'll be the seating will be spaced, and it's an indoor building, so there will be mask requirements there. But outdoors, we're just going to follow the state of Michigan guidelines as they change. And fortunately, they're opening up.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. And
Fortunately.
what are you doing specific displays this year?
We are.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have 3 specific displays. One of them is a one-of-a-kind van that is made to look like it's driving down the road upside down.
Oh,
It's
fun.
an old-style
Okay.
box van.
Wow.
And that one, I believe we're going to be offering some rides in that.
Oh, cool.
Be giving them away in a drawing. The owner has agreed to that, and so that's going to be pretty cool. And then we have a Made in Michigan display of antique and classic cars. And these
cool.
are cars that most of the venues or the models don't exist any longer.
Okay.
For example, a Will St. Clair. There's
Nice.
a really nice one that a gentleman here in town owns. He's bringing. These are Concours quality cars.
Right.
A Dort, a Liberty. which is, I think there's only one in existence. So we've got about 22 or 23 very rare made in Michigan cars that don't exist anymore, that you won't see them many places.
Right.
And you won't see them in one group like this other than our show.
Awesome.
So we also have a muscle car display. It seems like here in Genesee County and Eastern Michigan, we have this tendency to love the muscle cars.
Right.
So every few years we pull together a very unique concours quality collection of muscle cars, your traditional Chevelles and Camaros and a few Fords, but yeah, it's some nice displays.
Cool.
Well, you just gave me a really good idea for a Christmas in July party, so I'm going to have to talk to you after the show about something. Now, people are invited to bring in their own vehicles.
Yes.
Are there any age limits?
There are no age limits.
If you can drive.
If you can drive, bring your car. There are no age limits on the car. It doesn't have to be a pristine collectible car. It could just be something that a person owns, they think is cool, and they can bring it. It can be new, it can be old, it can be grandma's old rust bucket. We don't really care because we appreciate all of them. They all have something that there's people that like. And my preference, I like old station wagons, which is kind of weird, but I like those. Cars, you can bring your car, you can register the day of the show. If you want it judged, we do have judges there, and people can sign up for that. If you don't want it judged, you just don't check the box on the form, and nobody will bother you with any type of a judgment of your car. We do have a lot of awards. We have about 70 awards that we're going to give out.
Oh, wow.
We have the top 25, which is just on the point schedule. If you're asking to be judged, we'll give you a point schedule. We'll give you your score, and give you a nice plaque, really nice wooden plaque with a metal face with the Shea Automotive logo on it.
Oh, perfect. That makes me happy. Okay, great.
Of course. We have several best General Motors original, best General Motors modified. We have all the popular brands, the other guys.
Right.
We have theirs. We have a Millennium Award for a car that was made since the year 2000.
Oh, so, neat. Okay, cool.
You want to bring that car out.
Yeah.
All types of them. Now, last year we did a few activities for the kids just to kind of keep them busy while everybody was in, get them involved in, the classic car and every event that you're having. Do you plan on any activities for the children?
We do.
Okay, good.
A traditional activity we have is what we call the Make and Take Model giveaway. We have a Flint area modeling club that the adults come out and they help the kids. So any kid, any age can come in, and we have a building set aside. They can put together a model. We have Camaros this year and a few other, I think a Scooby-Doo mobile. We have cars. They can put it together. They can take it with them.
Great.
And then we have rides. We have the train is out there. There's a carousel. There's things for kids to do.
Okay, perfect. Well, it's awesome. We can't wait. We're excited about our Friday night cruise here at Shea Automotive Group, and we'll be looking forward to having you then.
Well, thank you, and I'm looking forward to it all.
Yes, thanks for coming today, Tom. It was so good to see you again.
Thank you. It's good to see you ladies again.
Well, that was so interesting. We do antique tractors, so we do the same thing. So it's really neat to see people look at their heritage and really.
We have antique tractors at this show. I forgot to mention those. and those guys are great because they let the kids climb on them.
Yeah.
They will anybody asks them a question, they'll tell them all about it.
Aww.
Oh yeah. We have Farmalls, 1939 Farmalls. So yeah, we do the same thing. Let everybody get on them. But before we end your segment of the show, and I want to thank Tom for coming as well today. But anything going on that you want to mention about Shea for today?
So I think we all heard about the inventory problems, maybe.
Yeah.
So the Shea Mega Lot right now is paying up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. So that's kind of huge. That's a lot of money.
Wow.
That's $5,000 extra in your pocket. So that's going on now until the end of the month. So give us a call at 810-732-7500 or visit www.sheamegalot.com.
Well, you never know. I might bring my car in.
Yeah, I think you should.
I got an extra car sitting around. My daughter's old car. I might bring that in and say, hey, do me something with this thing. But thanks for hanging out with me today. Next month, you guys have Amberlynn Taylor coming in, right?
Yes.
For Back to the Bricks. And you have some other things going on in July that people will find out next month.
Exactly.
So thanks for coming in. And the only other thing I have left to say is that we've got one more minute and they're telling me, okay, you got to keep talking. So,
Well, that's good because usually it's Tracy, wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Usually they're telling me, shut your hole. But no, today I'm trying to think, any other specials going on besides that? You've got the car. So you got the car, the prequel,
The prequel.
for this month, and then next month you've got all that stuff going on with Back to the Bricks. Correct. And even though Back to the Bricks starts in August, but your stuff is in July.
Yep, on
right?
July 24th. So it's similar to how it was last year, the morning of at Shea Automotive Group. But we'll tell you a little bit more information about that next month.
All right, excellent. Yeah. So I think that kind of brings us to a close. So I want to thank Stacy, McKenzie, and Thom. Thanks for coming in today.
Perfect.
And
Thank you.
I'll talk to you guys all next month.
We'll see you soon.
All right. See you later. All right. During our Guaranteed Rate Business Spotlight segment, we feature a local Flint Township business every week. And today we have Jill Maxwell from MaxWell Therapy. So, Jill, why don't you introduce yourself and let everyone know what your role is at MaxWell Therapy?
Okay, my name is Jill Maxwell, as you just said, and I'm the owner and operator of MaxWell Therapy.
Okay.
We are a primary physical therapy clinic, and we also offer occupational therapy, speech therapy, massage therapy, laser therapy, as well as wellness memberships.
Oh, awesome. So, wow, that's a lot. That was a lot to sink into my brain there. But let's start out with, where are you located?
We are located at 1397 South Linden Road, in right off of Corona and Linden Road. And then we also have a location in Grand Blanc, and that's off of 8273 South Grand Blanc Road, which is just on South Saginaw and the corner of McCandlish.
Okay, over by Trillium area, right?
No, it's across from El Patero.
On
South Saginaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm not from Grand Blanc. I'm from Flint Township.
Yeah.
That's okay, though.
Yes.
So, you offer a lot of services there. So how many employees do you employ overall?
Close to 40.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah, 35. And then I have some massage therapists.
Okay. Now, are you the only owner, or is it?
I'm it.
You're the small business right there. That and it's been so difficult for everybody, and I don't want to get into COVID because you know what, I'm tired of talking about it.
Yeah,
so we're just going to talk about your business today. So you provide physical therapy and all these occupational therapy and all these things. That's a great option for people who don't want surgery, but how do you know when physical therapy is the right thing for you?
Most people don't want surgery, and a lot of people have both acute or chronic pain. Okay. So as far as physical therapy, what I usually tell people is if you have pain in your back, neck, shoulder, knee, and it's more than a 5 on a scale of 10 and lasting for more than a couple weeks, that's something that could warrant physical therapy.
Okay. All right. And you talked to me about the stages of healing.
Yes.
So what does that mean to your clientele?
Well, whenever you get injured, there are stages of healing. And the first stage of healing is pain and inflammation.
Right.
Okay. And then the second stage of healing is first we have to reduce the pain and inflammation. Mm-hmm. And then during the second stage, we have to restore the range of motion or the mobility and the strength. And then thirdly, we get back to our normal functions such as golfing, swimming, gardening. So what happens is a lot of times during the first stage, you have pain and inflammation. And that's usually the number one reason that people will seek physical therapy is that they're having some kind of pain. And
so do they need to have, I think most insurances cover physical therapy,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Do they need to go to their regular doctor to get prescribed physical therapy, or is that something they can come to you and you work with their insurance company? How does that work?
Well, as far as insurance and legally in the state of Michigan, physical therapists can evaluate and treat for 3 weeks or 10 visits without a prescription. Okay. But the kicker is that most of the insurances require the prescription in order to pay.
Okay.
So most people would like their insurance to pay.
Right.
And so then they need to get a physician prescription.
Okay. So they can just go to their doctor and let them know what the problem is and that they want to come to you to seek your services.
Yes.
And they can get a prescription that way, right?
Right. They can get a prescription. Usually the doctor will just fax us an order or they'll hand the prescription to the patient. Sometimes if people aren't sure if they qualify for physical therapy or if they need physical therapy or what are we going to do for them? They can give us a call and we'll bring them in for, we call it a discovery visit.
Okay.
And we'll check them out and see if there's somebody that would qualify for physical therapy.
Okay. Before they even go to their doctor.
Before they go to their doctor, and then we'll have them go to the doctor. Sometimes people will have a condition that they've been treating for. Their doctor's aware of what their problem is. And sometimes we can just call the doctor or the patient can call the doctor and they'll just go ahead and fax over a script if the doctor is already aware and has examined them.
All right. Well, I kind of got off track here because, that's kind of how I do things. So you've already talked about the types of services you have, but when you get into the types of therapies you have several different types of therapy. One of them was dry needling, and I thought, what is that? So I'll let you talk about what that is.
Dry needling is an alternative medicine techniques similar to acupuncture.
Oh, okay.
But the procedure is performed by a licensed physical therapist that's been trained in dry needling, and it focuses more on the neuromuscular parts. So it's similar to acupuncture, but not the same. Okay. And so we're primarily reducing the tension in the muscles and or inflammation and pain by inserting the needles. It feels like a pinprick.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just saw that and I'm like, what in the world is that? So, and then the other thing you had, it was, and I'm probably going to murder this because I am not a doctor and I don't know anything about medical vernacular, but it's craniosacral therapy.
Yep, cranial sacral therapy.
Oh, it was close.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is that?
So cranial sacral therapy is a manual therapy technique. So where we use light pressure throughout the body.
Okay.
And we are able to feel there's a natural rhythm of the body where the body expands and contracts. And it's connected to all the fascial system, which is the network of connective tissue throughout the body that sometimes will tighten down in certain areas and end up causing pain or discomfort or dysfunction.
Okay, so that's more of like almost like a massage type therapy. Okay,
Yep.
All right. And what is somato emotional release?
Somato emotional release.
See, I got that wrong too.
Yeah. Yeah. Somato emotional release is part of the training with the cranial sacral therapy. So when you get injured or when you have a trauma or a fall or an accident, often there's not only the physical injury, but there's also emotions that are kind of stored in those muscles and those tensions. So it's called tissue memory.
Right.
Okay. So sometimes, I work with abused people who've been abused, and or people who have had just a traumatic injury, a car accident or something. And it's not just the physical muscle tension, but the emotional that's associated with that. And so when we release the physical tension, then often people also will have an emotional release. And, they say tears are made for cleansing. Yeah. And so at times I'll have somebody come in and we, go through a very keep it simple process for stress management and teach them how to process their emotions in a healthy manner so that they don't suck it up, stuff it down, and tense up their body. And when they do that, at times, they can go from a 8 to a 2 as far as a pain level because they've just released that tension emotionally. Right. And it's all, I say, interactive and interdependent. So your emotions and your physical body and your mental state are all intertwined.
Yeah. Yeah, and that stress that you're feeling from that is can be horrible on your body. Yeah.
Yes, and anybody going through a medical condition, it creates a significant disruption in your life.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing you had was neuropathy treatment.
Yep, neuropathy.
I knew if I said it that way, it would be wrong. I knew it. I thought if
should
I
have
say
reviewed.
neuropathy, it'll be neuropathy. So I'm going the other way, and I'm always wrong when I take that path. But okay, so what is that?
Okay, neuropathy is basically nerve damage.
Okay.
Sometimes for known reasons, such as diabetes, when your sugars are off and you're not managing your sugars, you start getting neuropathy in your feet. It's pain, tingling, numbness, burning in your feet. And eventually, you when you have numbness in your feet, then your balance gets off, and so forth. You numbness in your hands, you drop things. And so we have a treatment that we do for that is wonderful, especially for the diabetic neuropathy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And
so you have so many great programs there, it sounds like. How can our listeners get in touch with your businesses?
well, they can just give us a call at 810-230-9750.
Okay.
Or they can check us out on our website. It's just MaxWellTherapy.com.
Easy.
Yep. And
Easy to get a hold of.
Facebook, we have a MaxWell Therapy Facebook page.
Yeah, there's a theme there. MaxWell Therapy. Easily.com or on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or they can call.
Mm-hmm.
And before we finish up, anything else you want to talk about? Anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to get out?
I just want to let people know that they do not have to be in pain. There are many, many options that we offer people to help relieve the pain so they can get back to their normal function. And it's absolutely worth a try.
Yeah, there's so many different therapies and stuff out there for people to try.
Yeah.
They really should look into it. I mean, the information's out there. If you've got something going wrong, go to your doctor, because I am not a doctor. As Bridget always says, I'm not a doctor. So go to your doctor and find out, or call Jill at MaxWell Therapy and get a consultation discovery appointment. And they can talk to you about whether or not your issues are something they can treat. And I think that's great. I have never had to have physical therapy done, knock on wood. But I think it's a great way to avoid surgery and all those other messy complications that you can have that are related to that.
Yep. People are tired of getting injections, tired of being in pain.
I'm telling you,
And
I could. They can take those injections and do something with them.
Sometimes they can be, for some people, very effective, and for others, not. So this is just, we offer a numerous options, and our wellness program.
Yes,
For
that's
chronic
great.
pain.
That's great. And so I want to thank Jill for coming in. And I want to remind our listeners that if you have any questions or comments on the show, email me at discoverflinttownship@gmail.com, or visit us on Facebook at Flint Township Events. You can get all our shows on our YouTube channel, Discover Flint Township. And you can visit our web pages, discoverflinttownship.com or flinttownship.org. I want to thank our guests today, Stacy, McKenzie, our people from Sloan Auto Fair, and Jill Maxwell that you just got to hear from. And I want to thank our partners, HAP, Shea Automotive Group, Financial Plus Credit Union, Guaranteed Rate, and 103.9 The Fox. Discover Flint Township with us next Sunday. And I think we have Financial Plus and the Popcorn Wagon on. So that'll be a good show, too. And then I want to tell you, I'm Tracy Tucker, the Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director. And I would like to remind everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, shop local, buy local, and discover Flint Township. See you later.
This has been Discover Flint Township with Tracy Tucker. For more information, visit discoverflinttownship.com. Flint Township is ready for your next move. The preceding program was pre-recorded and was paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc.